And already our in-breath and out-breath finds its perfect rhythm. In this moment, our physical body is simply allowed to relax as what moves into this sacred space is a meandering energy that brings comfort and brings peace. And so all the concerns, all the dynamics of a physical world, mental and emotional, now beckons to recede. And what comes forth is this higher peace. And with each and every sacred in-breath and out-breath, as our very space becomes infused with this spiritual energy and divine grace that is flowing in and through this body of light that is connected through hearts and minds, transcended of time and space. It is a pinpoint of connection, of unconditional love and compassion. And each individual light is ignited that much brighter, for the divine sacred energy is luminous and radiant and illumines any and everything. And so we find ourselves slowly filling up with this light that is ignited within our own inner sanctum of the divine that each and everyone holds. And there is a correspondence between this inner light that we hold, yea, even within the physical, mental, and emotional bodies. It is the sacred of sacred that is deep within our being, and we carry it with us wherever we are, wherever we go. As we walk this earth, as we deal with the dynamics of planetary existence upon this creation, we hold something timeless and eternal. And so it is this divine flowing grace that is to bring back the ancient memory we hold as being these illumined beings that are eternal and boundless. And so we breathe each breath and exhale it, knowing we are breathing in holy sacred codes of light. We are breathing in the cosmic memory, the cosmic history, and our place within it. And as we do, our physical bodies, mental and emotional, become more relaxed. And there is a wanting and a giving simply to fall into this loving embrace, this cosmic embrace that now surrounds us and holds us. So we are simply allowed to release all of the concerns and dynamics of a physical world, and simply to be in this moment present, receiving this divine flow of grace, receiving the divine codes of awakening consciousness, divine codes of a re-remembering of our cosmic history. the cosmic geometrias that come in to expand our awareness and to move our consciousness into new areas, into new expansive fields. So we continue to anchor more deeply our individual and collective path of light. So we breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath and realize and acknowledge how powerful and sacred and special it is. So we simply fill ourselves up, and as we do, it's like the physical body begins to move back, begins to despatialize. And what moves in is a higher, supple, more supreme light body. And so we operate now from this re-spatialization we find ourselves in, where we can feel the divine sacred energetics of this higher light body settling in, around, in and through our consciousness, allowing the expansiveness, the eternity of what and who we are to be set free and released and expressed. And so we simply breathe the holy sacred in-breath and out-breath, into remembering it is the divine cosmic breath and the cosmic out-breath. And that we fall into a cosmic rhythm as we dive deep into the cosmic waters of the memory of who we are, as we allow ourselves to be embraced, consumed by this higher light and unconditional love that flows in endlessly, moving in, through, and around us. So we become totally, completely relaxed. And the more that we can relax into this love that is unconditional, the more that we can relax into this light, the more we will be able to respatialize, expand, and move into the higher parts of ourselves and all that is connected to that. And so it is in this very relaxed, in this perfect balance, and in this peace that we find ourselves. We realize that we are surrounded and embraced. And we are surrounded by the Ami Shaddai, the family of light. And this experience comes now through the connection of the inner sanctum that we hold within us and the divine, sacred, holy of holies that are in the highest realms of light. And so there is a bridge of the macro and microcosm that now develops an integration of the two. And this is a healing grace that flows in. This healing grace that flows in, purpose, is to assist in the perfect balance as those who walk this world will be able to be the way showers, to keep the middle path, to keep the polarities in balance, to walk the path of light, to see the higher vision, to be the higher vision, and to be that lightning rod, that conduit that brings the higher energies in, that will bring more balance upon the sacred earth, that will bring balance within the hearts and minds of the humans and all life, that will bring in the soothing balm of compassionate love, that will heal and grace all those that are in fear, that are in suffering, that are in ignorance. And so we hold this healing balm as we expand the inner sanctum, as we connect and anchor more deeply the micro and the macrocosm, this pillar of light that is being amplified and anchored from the highest realms of light, from the sacred holy of holies, from where the great angelics are and reside as the great radiant ones. And so we simply breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath. And with each and every in-breath and out-breath, the connection is stronger and stronger. We are imbued as if we are dispersed now into this light that is porous and seems to be everywhere, as we are everywhere. And we find ourselves being one and eternal, one with all creations. And as this inner sanctum connection continues to amplify between the macro and the microcosm, our consciousness is free and unbounded, and the eternal eternity that we hold within us becomes forward and expansive. And so for just these few moments here, we simply allow the freedom of oneness to consume us, to hold us and love us. As it seeks us, we seek it. And dear beloveds, the ability to connect with the higher macrocosm, as above, so below, and to strengthen that with your own Holy of Holies, as you expand that part of yourself, as you allow yourself to focus, to put forth that intention, to keep that tethering intact, allows you to move into a world that will seem to be chaotic and full of delusion and illusion. And it is this, beloveds, and the family of light that surrounds you, that are here to guide you, to assist you, and to love you, that you hold this inner sanctum, you hold this Holy of Holies, and you are connected to the sacredness of the inner sanctum of the divine throne. In the realms of gods, in the paradise worlds, in the aeons of crystalline cities of light. And so you choose to align yourself with this dynamic, and you choose to develop this connection, to maintain it and hold it in your day-to-day activities. And beloveds, we assure you that as you commit to this, you will begin to bring in the higher spiritual laws that transcend the earthly law, a physical law. As the masters have demonstrated, so you too. Breathe with intention. Be intentful and focused on your path in the remembrance of who you are and what you are connected with. As the days and months and years come, this will be so important. And so we say to you, beloveds, that you are never alone, that it is in the remembering of what and who you are and what abilities are accessible to you, and your intention to access that and to walk this path will bring you through the coming times with ease and grace, that you can be, in fact, the watchtower, the pillar of lights, the bringer of light in darkness, showing the way. And now in this blended consciousness of eternity, divine sacred peace and perfect balance, we bring together in our spiritual eye our beloved Earth Mother, our dear Gaia. We see her and bring her into our spiritual eye as we now walk with and are part of the sacred Elohim, that we hold our power as divine co-creators, as the children of light upon the earth who have not forgotten, embraced and imbued higher with the love of the most sacred ones. And so we join them now in consciousness, expanded consciousness, as our inner divinity and inner flame continues to grow and connect with the higher godly of godlies, with the higher realms of the macro connecting to the micro. We hold and tether this as we hold into our spiritual eye the earth, Gaia, Terra, called by many names, and her connection to all the celestial bodies around the great Logi, our own sun, and the history of that evolution and revolution around the sun. We simply breathe each and every holy, sacred in-breath and out-breath. And we hold her in our spiritual eye, and her connection to her brothers and sisters who evolve and revolve around our sacred sun, including that asteroid belt. For the asteroid belt holds much history and is very integrated into the solar system of Helios Vesta. So we hold in consciousness our Earth Mother and our solar system. And we simply hold this in our spiritual eye as we hold the tethering of the higher Holy of Holies. And the Holy of Holies we hold within us. For there is a connection, an integration, an understanding, and an implementation. And as we hold her, the sacred mother of Terra, of Gaia, our Earth Mother, her place around the sun, and we see the brothers and sisters moving around the sun clearly, we now open up our higher heart of compassion and light, filled with the inner sanctum light. We open our hearts now and we send this love, this higher love from the ascended realms of light, holding the compassion and unconditionality of pure, unadulterated love to our Earth Mother, to her brothers and sisters who move around the great sun of Helios Vesta. See this clearly, clearly in your spiritual eye and feel the movement in your higher heart. And open up the love as much as you can and pour it throughout each celestial body. Pour it throughout the asteroid field. Pour it throughout the great sun of Helios Vesta. With each and every in-breath and out-breath, this emanation becomes stronger and more profound and more impactful. So we open up our higher heart of compassion and unconditional love, holding divine codes of the inner sanctum of both the macro and the microcosm as a great filtering, as a great conductor of this light and unconditional love into our solar system, into Helios Vesta, into the history of this, to where it was, where it is, and where it will be, infused in this higher light, emanating from our own higher heart of compassion and unconditional love, held in place by the family of light. And we breathe and hold the light. And we now look and we can see the entire solar system ablaze with this spiritual higher light that we hold within us and connected to the higher realms of light of the Holy of Holies, the Sanctum of Sanctums. And we hold for the reparation, the healing, the balancing, and the peace. And as we hold it on the cosmic level, we hold it in the microcosmic level of our own individual bodies, physical, mental, and emotional, into the earth itself, into all of her kingdoms, into all of her elements, to our families, to our community, to our country, and to the world. We hold this inner sanctum of the macro and the micro, infusing the light, the brilliance and the radiance of the higher worlds. Hold your positions just a few more moments more. And now the time of the return has come. And as we feel we could be in this state of bliss, this state of service, imbued with this radiant light, the inner sanctum, this connection of the micro and the macro, holy of holies. We now experience it and take note of how it flows in and through us in the expansiveness of who and what we are, without limitation, without perimeters. We experience before we go the oneness of all things and the glory and the blessing of the truth of who and what we are and what we are part of. So we bathe ourselves in this energetic bath of crystalline light and unconditional love. We breathe in and exhale it. It permeates in, through, and all around us. We accept and are humbled by this grace and glory that comes to us, and are committed on our path of light, and to be that light to the world and worlds. We acknowledge all the radiant ones that have been here with us, continue to be with us as we work as one divine collective family of light. And now it is time to return, for there is much to do. We have acknowledged the ignitement of light within the filaments that courses through our own DNA, the acceleration of our own electron spin within the atomic levels of ourselves. For we have been changed. We have been upgraded and intensified. And so we commit in the next days and weeks to come, we bring this memory and hold it with us. We remember to hold this as we walk into the world and be the light. And so now we begin to draw in our electromagnetic field as all those who have participated begin to draw in theirs. Slowly but methodically, we intend to be back fully in our physical, mental, and emotional bodies. We glance once more the radiance of our solar system, imbued with the holy of holy lights and what we hold within ourselves, and that we are ever tethered to the macrocosm of this experience. In a count of 3, we will prepare ourselves to be back, awake and alert and very grounded. As we come back into our body. 1, 2, take a deep breath in, and 3, we are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.